Hiya, so it's Gaz here from Moth Creaturae. I thought I'd give you another update on the workshop build. Very quick one today because it started raining, so I'll not be outside now. I've been drinking the day, so probably not waffle as much shit. So I'm standing at the outside edge of the workshop, which is, as I see it from my house, not the storage part, but my actual workshop. So the idea is I'm going to eventually put like sort of French door type of things on here, you know, so they can just open out in the summer, let a bit of air and stuff. There's no windows inside, and other than the lights that I'll be putting in there, fluorescent lights and the fire, there's going to be no other light source. So I figured this side we could have double doors and just keep them open when I'm working in there, apart from night times obviously. So as we go in, you'll see I've got it cleared up quite a bit. Right, I've got the inside skinned, all but finished on this. So you know, I had to cut these to size, fit them up. The worst side is actually facing out, so if we look at it from this way, so most of the rust's on the outside, but like I mentioned in the earlier video, I'm going to skin that. This old knackered fence with my neighbour is coming down next week, but there's 3 usable panels on the end here, large ones, and I'm going to use them to kind of overlap the outside of the workshop. So from their garden, at least it'll look pretty well tidy. But from the inside here then, so I've just swept it out. It was proper dusty, like cement and shit kicking up. But you'll see that I got it all skinned. It's a really usable space actually, and I was worried about where I'm going to store like stuff and keep usable space in here, because by the time I start putting benches and stuff in, it's going to fill up really quickly and it'll be a fucking nightmare. But then obviously I've got this whole alleyway, if you like, which is going to be storage. So I'll probably devote the top end of it here next to my workshop for storing materials that, like for builds, if you like. I mentioned these stainless steel commercial kitchen units the other day. They'll be stored at the top end here, they'll fit. And then as we go further down there, I'll probably store like gardening shit, like lawnmower and crap like that, and the bikes and stuff. Because my garage, I want to keep clear like a metal shop. I've got a few motorbikes on the go at the moment, and I've just never had the time or the space to get amongst them. But that's kind of a longer term project. As soon as I've got the space, I'll start working on them. But this is the bit that'll pay the bills, I suppose, making stuff in here. So yeah, you can see I got it all skinned. Like I mentioned the other day, I've got these bolts like sort of uncut because I'm going to put a shelf going all the way along here. And whilst some of them, some of the clad metal stays nice and tight against it, there's bits like this, which clearly there was no concrete post behind here, so I couldn't put a bolt through it. And I don't just want to put a shitty little bolt that nips this in, because it's not going to serve any other, it's not structurally sound, it's just to keep this in. So it's a waste of fucking drilling a hole in that, you know what I mean? So what I'll do is I'll just have the shelf going along there, and that'll keep that all pressed in nice and tight. It's all finished at the same length. I cut it all at the same sort of height with my angle grinder. The bottom, how I did the bottom, this space and all around my driveway was, they call it French drainage. And the missus was like, you mean some lazy bastard couldn't be arsed putting drainage in? Pretty much. They just put shitloads of pebbles and sort of broken up rocks and stuff, gravel. Put shitloads of that down, and then eventually what happens is the water just drains amongst it. It doesn't fucking work. My grass is like sodden. It's always like a swamp, so clearly we need to come up with another way of doing this. So I'm probably going to put a couple of water butts in, which it's good because we can reuse the water, not for anything other than watering plants when you get like hot weather and we don't want to be using the hose pipe, but it'll be usable and better than having fucking marshland as a garden. But in my workshop here, how I finished the paving slabs off, I wanted it all looking like quite old fashioned, so it's not 100% accurate, like level. I certainly wouldn't be freaking doing anything precise on here. But it's nice and uneven, like an old cobble path. And at the edge, what I've done is I've left kind of a few inches, maybe it's about 4 inches from the fence down, so there's like a gully. So the inside of the fence, I've got this metal going all the way to the floor, all but a couple of millimeters to the rocks. And then on the inside here, I've got this kind of sort of drainage. I don't foresee any water coming inside this workshop. It's pretty buttoned up quite tightly. But if it does, it's not going to be the end of the world for my workshop and get everything fucking piss rocked. Right, last bit I've got to do for the cladding in here, because you can see I've done all the metal work across this wall. I'm not doing the ceilings, it's a fucking waste of time. But this bit here, where I've put the board in, I've sealed it around the edge. I'm going to seal it from the outside as well before I put the skin on the outside. I've done the lower part of the metal. I just need to do the top, but it's a pure pain in the arse cutting this rickety metal. Straight lines is great, easy, but when you're trying to cut on a slight curve, because of the ups and downs, the angle grinder doesn't like it. And I've only got a small angle grinder, and a larger one wouldn't cope with it. But the small discs still aren't small enough to get amongst it, and the Dremel just wouldn't have the freaking power to get through it. You know, it's only like sort of 1 mil, 2 mil thick, but it's quite hard stuff. Dremels are great for like short doses, but not for cutting through a big bloody sheet like that. So anyway, there was the quick update today. Hopefully we'll get the fire's coming next week. We'll get that put in, get the chimney cut through here, and then we'll have the burner on. Quick one for the garden. You'll see I'm already stockpiling the usable wood, and I've got some hardwoods outside. It's just bloody rain though to get, but they were drying out nicely outside here. Some elm and some oak. But you'll see me wood, my garden. You can actually see grass now and a bit of mud. It was just pallets all over here last week. Still a bit of a junkyard like, but we're getting there slowly. Clearly here's a load of offcuts that I made from that is usable wood from the pallets. And there's my little project that I made the other week, like the wood storage shed. It's fucking packed to the roof with wood. Can't put any more in, but that's a mixture of soft wood and hardwoods. Bit of a shame when you've got to be burning hardwoods because it's not cheap. It took a long time to grow, but whatever's been salvageable I've managed to sort of cut to usable lengths. And at the back here you'll see that I've got all this pile of shit here. Now this is going to be too large for me actual wood burner in the workshop, but it's ideal for out here for the little fire pits and stuff, you know. So it's out here, have a little tipple and enjoy company, you know, with the fire on in the back garden. Right, that was enough of it for today. Waffled on enough. 7 minutes of your life gone. I hope you're all doing well anyway. Stay safe. Bye.